Glossophobia. Imagine standing in front of hundreds of people. Everyone is staring directly at you. The room is completely silent. Suddenly, your mouth becomes as dry as the Sahara Desert. Your hand starts shaking. Your heart feels like it's trying to escape through your chest. And somehow, you completely forget your own name. That's glossophobia, the intense fear of speaking in front of an audience. And it's one of the most common fears in the world, even though the audience isn't physically dangerous. Your brain reacts as if you're about to face a life-threatening situation. The moment someone with glossophobia is asked to give a speech or a presentation, the brain activates the fight-or-flight response. Adrenaline floods the body, causing rapid heartbeat, sweating, trembling, nausea, dizziness, dry mouth, shaky legs, and sometimes even full panic attacks. Scientists believe this fear comes from our ancestors. Thousands of years ago, being rejected or humiliated by your tribe could have serious consequences for survival. Today, forgetting a line during a presentation obviously isn't life-threatening, but your brain hasn't exactly received that update yet and still thinks it will be fed to tigers if it does. People with severe glossophobia may avoid school presentations, job interviews, weddings, meetings, leadership positions, or any event that requires speaking in front of others. Some have even turned down promotions because they knew public speaking would be involved. Thankfully, this phobia is highly treatable. Although, if you've ever stood in front of your class and your teacher suddenly says, "Speak louder, we can't hear you," you'll understand why this phobia exists. Ophidiophobia. Whether it's a tiny, harmless garden snake or a massive python, many people don't stick around long enough to figure out which one it is. Ophidiophobia is the intense fear of snakes. For some people, they don't even have to encounter a real snake. A photograph, a video, a toy snake, or even hearing the word snake can trigger overwhelming anxiety. As soon as the brain detects something resembling a snake, it immediately activates survival mode. The heart races, muscles tighten, breathing speeds up, palms sweat, and many people either freeze, scream, or run as fast as they possibly can. Scientists believe this fear has evolutionary roots. Venomous snakes pose genuine dangers. Our brains eventually became incredibly good at recognizing snake-like shapes, giving humans precious extra seconds to escape. The downside is that your brain doesn't always wait to identify whether it's actually a snake. That's why some people have nearly broken the world record for the long jump after mistaking a garden hose for a cobra. People with severe ophidiophobia often avoid hiking trails, forests, zoos, and even pet stores if they think the possibility of a snake appearing will be involved. Trypanophobia. Imagine a metal rod only a few centimeters long could make a fully grown man suddenly become a professional escape artist. Trypanophobia is the intense fear of needles, injections, vaccinations, blood tests, and other medical procedures involving sharp objects. This phobia can be so severe that people completely avoid hospitals, vaccines, routine blood work, or even life-saving treatments. This phobia often develops after painful childhood injections, traumatic medical experiences, fear of blood, or learning the fear from family members. When faced with a needle, sufferers may experience rapid heartbeat, sweating, nausea, dizziness, crying, panic attacks, trembling, and in many cases, fainting. Unlike most fears where blood pressure increases, many people with trypanophobia experience something called a vasovagal response. Their blood pressure suddenly drops, reducing blood flow to the brain and causing them to pass out. Nyctophobia. During the daytime, your bedroom is perfectly normal. Turn off the lights, and suddenly that chair with a hoodie on it looks like it's waiting for you to fall asleep. Nyctophobia is the intense fear of darkness. Although it's common in children, many adults continue experiencing it throughout their lives. People usually aren't afraid of darkness itself. They're afraid of what they can't see. Humans rely heavily on vision to detect danger. When darkness removes that ability, the brain starts filling in the missing information using imagination. Unfortunately, your imagination deserves a lifetime ban from thinking that a horror movie character is in front of you. Every tiny sound becomes suspicious. People with severe nyctophobia often sleep with lights on, avoid being outside after sunset, and experience anxiety during power outages. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is the fear of being somewhere where escaping or getting help would be difficult if panic suddenly occurs. Sufferers may think shopping malls, concerts, airports, crowded buses, busy streets, or even leaving home alone poses danger. This panic is mostly caused by overthinking that a sudden bad thing would happen in those places, leading to extreme anxiety. Over time, the brain starts recognizing that the places are causing these panics, even though they actually don't. Eventually, some sufferers become completely housebound, relying on others for groceries, appointments, and basic necessities. They could also be relieved if they are accompanied by someone they know or trust. Being accompanied long enough slowly teaches the brain that those places aren't as dangerous, and slowly treats the person. In extreme cases, Walking out your own front door is terrifying and needs psychological interventions. Claustrophobia. Ever stepped into an elevator and immediately looked for the emergency button before the doors even closed? That's the kind of fear people with claustrophobia experience. It is the overwhelming fear of enclosed or confined spaces, where a person feels trapped or unable to escape. Symptoms include chest tightness, difficulty breathing, dizziness, sweating, rapid heartbeat, trembling, nausea, and an overwhelming urge to escape immediately. MRI machines are especially challenging because patients must lie perfectly still inside a narrow tube for several minutes. Sounds less like a medical procedure, and more like the world's worst escape room. Modern places like elevators, cars, or restrooms could make someone with claustrophobia extremely anxious. Like agoraphobia, the person can be relieved if they are accompanied by someone they know or trust. Acrophobia, the intense fear of heights. Unlike normal caution, the fear continues even when there's virtually no risk of falling. The brain becomes convinced that you will be pushed, slip, or suddenly jump on extreme heights. Symptoms include dizziness, trembling, weak legs, nausea, sweating, panic attacks, rapid heartbeat, and the overwhelming sensation that you're about to fall. Ironically, anxiety itself can make people feel physically unsteady, convincing them even more that they're losing balance. Some actually fell from heights due to panicking. Many sufferers avoid observation decks, roller coasters, hiking trails, ladders, balconies, and glass bridges. Modern therapists often use virtual reality to safely expose patients to heights without placing them in actual danger. Much cheaper than accidentally discovering you're afraid halfway across a mountain cliff. Arachnophobia. If you've ever seen a spider in a room and immediately decided you should leave and wait till someone finds it, you're definitely not alone. Arachnophobia is the most common phobia in the world. Even a tiny, harmless spider can trigger overwhelming panic. Unfortunately, spiders are everywhere. The big ones may even appear from the toilet. Scientists believe humans evolved this fear because venomous spiders would often attack our ancestors. Today, however, your brain usually skips the important step of figuring out whether the spider is actually dangerous. It simply sees 8 legs and starts activating the speed force. People with severe arachnophobia would avoid Australia at all costs, and some may even adapt the fear to some identical creatures, like crabs or beetles.